the lower back and hot, moist pads, and a few more midwifery kind of things, like listening to fetal heart tones, or prenatal massage, or cutting the cord. These are things that only a certified nurse midwife can do in the state of South Dakota. And I thought, that is absolutely ridiculous. Gina tells me that after she received the cease and desist letter, I'm sure that the state of South Dakota thought I had quit. But after much prayer and discernment, I continued practicing as a direct entry midwife. I had first met Gina at a South Dakota Safe Childbirth Options Conference in Custer, South Dakota. The event focused on the lack of access to labor and delivery care in the state, which is especially problematic for rural families living far from hospitals. During the course of an intensive weekend of workshops, I attended a session meant to prepare husbands to handle emergencies that come up during unassisted birth, as well as classes on prenatal nutrition, decisions regarding vaccination, and the history of midwifery in the state. As a participant observer, I gave a lecture on the laws relating to coercive force during childbirth. While in Custer, I connected with midwives and their advocates. Each told me, "You have to interview Gina." That's how I ended up, a year later, sitting with Gina in rural Minnesota. After Gina's first acquittal, she was found guilty of violating the injunction against her practice and given a suspended sentence of 60 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. She tells me that she was scolded by the judge and told to stop her practice. But her calling was too strong, and the need for her skills too great for her to listen to the law. Women would choose to give birth with no assistance at all before going to the hospital. Such was the strength of their faith, their desire to avoid a hospital birth experience, or their distance from quality medical care. Relying on her faith, Gina reasoned that she would be there for those women, whether it was legal or not. I wasn't sure what to do. I'm a Christian, and I love the Lord very much, and as a Christian, I can't just go out and, quote, disobey the law, you know. And here they're saying that I'm disobeying the law, which has nothing to do with what I was doing. And I didn't feel I was disobeying it, but I went to the Lord and I said, "Lord, I've got to know why I'm doing this. Am I just doing this because I enjoy being with moms and babies? If that's the only reason, then that's not a good enough reason, and I need to stop." And so I really prayed about it. I prayed. I fasted. I got counsel from some godly friends that I knew would understand both sides of the issue. And I just waited on the Lord for Him to show me what He wanted me to do. Reading her Bible one morning, Gina tells me she read a passage that made clear to her that God had called midwives to practice with women who needed them. Feeling that this was her ministry, she continued in her practice as a direct entry midwife in the state. Shortly after this decision, Gina attended a particularly traumatic birth that culminated in the need to transport her client and baby in a blizzard and via helicopter to the regional hospital for emergency care. The baby had been born at home with shoulder dystocia and a cord wrap and was not breathing well but did have weak heart tones. Gina did CPR until the child could be transported and intubated. The baby lived in the NICU for several days before passing away. Gina found herself again in court, charged with practicing medicine without a license in violation of the cease and desist order. She told me, "Well, I knew I was in trouble. Not that I was doing anything wrong." She was not charged with negligence or